How we doing, my little Halloweenies? Welcome back to 31 Days of Horror 2020. I am the Randy Mole, and I have just taken a bit of a swerve ball and watched a film I was not intending to watch. I have just watched 1990 Arachnophobia. Getting my spiders on. Arachnophobia. Before I get into it, I have just watched this on the Sony Movie Channel. I don't think I know that the Sony Movie Channel even existed, but it turns out it does. Now, the Sony Movie Channel, and I don't know if this is just a Virgin thing, watching it on a Virgin box, but it appears that they put an extra layer of glass in front of the film because it just doesn't, it's still like good definition, but the sound's slightly off with the sharpness of it. Like they've literally put an extra bit, someone's been around to our house and put another layer of glass in front of the TV screen just to make the quality not that great. Now, I don't know if that's a Sony movie thing or if it's a Virgin thing, because Virgin movies also, I don't know if anyone has this, but the horror channel looks worse at D's in the Virgin box than it does on like Freeview. I don't know what they do. It's like they get the SD and they just drop those D's down. So I don't know. But either way, I've just watched Arachnophobia. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you will have seen it. I say this, it seems to be like one of those classic family ambling horrors that sort of slips through the net a little bit. For example, I've been after a Blu-ray of it. Every now and again I think, I don't want to watch that again. Just doesn't exist. Just isn't out of print. I think there was a very limited run of it. So maybe you haven't seen it. So let me synopsisize it very quickly for you. The film starts in Venezuela, because there's a point where the guy doesn't seem to know what Venezuela is. It's like it's some really foreign place when they're talking about it. And there's like a little set of explorers, researchers, and one of them's a spider expert. And they go under this tree, and they, if you've seen it, this bit etches in your memory because it's so well done. They have this big like machine that lets out all this smoke, and then out of this massive tree, like the tree of life, all these insects start falling down, dead effectively, and they're collecting them. All these butterflies. It's actually quite sad. So these dead butterflies fall down. And this massive spider falls in, and the guy's like, I need to get one of these alive, and I need to take 2 alive and 2 dead. And there's a photographer with them taking some pictures, like recording what they're doing and what they're all about. And he's got a cold, and everyone thinks he's got a bit of the flu. And then he gets bit by a spider, and he's dead, because these spiders, very, very poisonous. So they box him up, and one crawls into the box with him. And then they send him off home, send him, I don't know, stick him in, UPS or whatever, get him back to where he lives. Now, that's kind of the first section of the film. And then the rest of the film goes on to about a complete shift change, actually. It has goes from feeling like something like a very tribal, almost like it could have been a cannibal movie, like something that's going to get you in the rainforest. So then quick change of music, change of pace, and it becomes like the classic Amblin, something's going on in your neighbourhood, poltergeisty, E.T. sort of vibe, music and everything. And Jeff Daniels has moved to this small town, this little village. Can't think where he's said. I want to say it was somewhere in LA, like rural LA or something, but I think I might be dreaming that. It felt very deep south. And he's the new doctor for the town when he gets there. But the old doctor, who was supposed to be retiring because he's about 107 years old and doesn't do things the way you should do them anymore, he decides he's not going to retire. So this guy then has to find some patients, but every one of the people he takes as a patient dies. So he gets the nickname Dr. Death. Dum, dum, dum. But he suspects something strange here. He suspects that they're dying of spider bites. And he's got arachnophobia. Not a good situation to be in. So he has to then convince the town that he's not Dr. Death, that get the spider expert guy back and try and track down where these killer spiders are. And it turns out they're every bloody where. They're in the light switch, they're in the shower, they are everywhere you know that a spider's going to be, and it's going to get you. And that's pretty much the film, culminating in a big show-off against this big bloody spider. This one up here. Easy to go. So, what do I like about this film? The classic Amblin vibe is all over this. It's got that lovely whimsical soundtrack. Jeff Daniels is the main lead. He's really good. He's just a good everyman. The spiders are really well done. Practical effects spiders. Some of them are real spiders. Some of them are spiders that have got like additions to them. And one of them's got like a backpack on to make him look bigger, I read after watching it. I think his name is Big Bob. Great name for a spider. And the puppetry spiders look really cool, and you often see these little things lots of times. Your little legs just going, and you've not seen the rest of the spider. And you know there's someone there with wires pulling on the little legs, but they look really good. And it has some quite good scares in it for a family horror film. There's some quite manky people as they've been bit. No expense is really spared on this film in terms of the way it looks, and that's probably to be expected. It's directed by Frank Marshall, who is well known in the Amblin community, and he's along with Catherine Kennedy, was Spielberg's producer, so he is very much in that Amblin Spielberg wheelhouse. It's produced by Spielberg. I wouldn't be surprised to hear if there was the whole Toby Hooper story again, who actually did it, because it looks, the way that the shots are composed, the way that the music score works, the way that it has funny characters coming in over the serious family setup. I mean, the only thing that makes it not so Spielbergly is it really isn't focused around the children, what the children are doing at all in any way. Which is kind of a bit different to the usual Amblin movies. And I wonder if that's why it sort of snuck under the radar a little bit, because it's not quite that family sort of movie that you often expect from them. I love the contrast from the beginning to the rest of the film. The very opening scenes in Venezuela really feels like it's going to sound really weird. It's like The Exorcist. It's like you have this whole set-up scene that has a different vibe, different music, tribal music, looks different, feels sweaty, feels nasty, has completely different characters in it, but establishes a character and a set-up for the rest of the story that then comes in a bit like Father Merrin in The Exorcist. He comes in as the expert later on. I really like that about it. And I love... what's his name? John Goodman. He plays a character called Delbert, who's an exterminator, and he has his own theme tune, and it's so silly. It's like, and he comes in and he sort of says crazy things about like killing the insects and bugs, and he's brilliant. He comes in and he's got his own poison, and he's like, it's my own special sauce, and all that. He's brilliant. He's really, really good, and he brings a levity to it that is, the whole film's quite light, to be honest, but he is laugh out loud funny in a weird, slightly dark way in some bits, actually. I can imagine some people not warming to him, but I thought he was bloody brilliant. So what did I not like about it? Well, I think the film is a little overlong. I think that it reaches its point. Although I was really into the deaths and I was really into the way it was unfolding, when it started to hit the last section, the sort of final part of it, there's this big fight scene between man and spider that kind of goes on like it's like just. At the end of the day, it's a bloody spider. Just kill the bloody spider. He's a spider. And what started to grate on me in the scene itself is I think the music just driving me a little bit mad towards the end. It kind of builds this massive crescendo of that really out there sort of music, and it's so loud, it's so overpowering. It's so, look at how exciting this scene is, and I was like, yeah, it was about 10 minutes ago, but can we just kill the bloody spider now? And so I think the ending, although the effects are good and the way it all plays out is still fun, it kind of just feels a bit, it feels a bit like, yeah, now I feel it's a bit tacky, but that was a very small quibble, really. All in all, held up as a film I wanted to watch again, and I'm glad I watched it again. I would watch this every Halloween with the kids. It's a great fun movie. I am going to give this film, I'm going to go 3.5 pumpkins. 3.5 pumpkins. Let's go with that. That seems about right. 3.5 pumpkins. It's good stuff. Go watch it. Right, I'm going to go spin some webs, and I'll see you next time. Bye.